morning. This is once again Dr. Mukund Revdiwala discussing with you the second unit of BA English Semester 1 CC 101, and we have already discussed this unit 2, that is on essays, in 2 YouTube videos earlier on. Now this is part 3 of the essay that we are discussing, that is an essay by Guruvar Rabindranath Tagore. The title of the essay is The Religion of the Forest. Up till now we have discussed some part of the essay. Now onwards I will be resuming from where I stopped. So let's move to the slide and discuss the other things. So friends, this was the last slide that we discussed in our last YouTube video. If you look at the last point in this slide, this is about Rabindranath Tagore's views about the attitude of mind. According to him, our attitude of mind guides our attempts to establish relations with the universe. Now, what do we mean? Universe means each and everything, each and everybody around us. Now, you can establish a relation with the people around you, the animals around you, and many more things. Even there can be birds, etc. But you need to nurture a kind of attitude, because there are 2 types of attitude prevalent in the world. One way is controlling the other people by power, by might, by conquest. And the other way is winning other people, other animate things by attachment, by union, by love. So, according to Rabindranath Tagore, these are the 2 ways. Now it depends which way you prefer, which attitude you cultivate, either through the cultivation of power or through that of sympathy. If the relationship has been cultivated through power, then there are less chances of its surviving for a longer time. But if a relationship is cultivated by sympathy, by love, by warmth, then this is going to be a long-lasting relationship, a relationship with mutual love and respect. So these are some of the views that we discussed in our last slide. We are moving ahead with another slide. For Tagore, relationship of human with the forest and nature allows us to experience our humanity. We are human beings. આપણે મનુષ્ય છીએ. જંગલો મનુષ્ય નથી. But these forests teach us humanity. માનવતા શું છે એ કદાચ મનુષ્યને આ જંગલો શીખવાડે છે. How? Because these forests, though they are not human beings, their behavior to other vegetations, other plants, other trees, even animals and birds are such that they give a proof of being human, of being the sensibility of a human being. Or rather, I would say, they give a proof that they are having the sensibility of a human being. Now, this is something surprising, but it is a truth. Number of people on the other side in our society, though they are human beings, their behavior is such that we always question on their being human. Because behavior of certain people is so human that we are not even ready to consider them as human beings. They don't have any kind of humanity in them. So in this way, the attitude of the forest is such that they teach us humanity, according to Tagore. He says that humans and nature are not separate entity, and Tagore is not ready to believe that human is a human being, એક મનુષ્ય એ માણસ છે, માનવ જાતનું છે, અને એક વૃક્ષ એ માનવ જાતનું નથી, અથવા તો they are separate things, separate entities. No. According to Rabindranath Tagore, may it be human beings, may it be vegetation, may it be trees, may it be plants, etc. All these things are connected closely to each other. There is a quote from Rabindranath Tagore: in our dreams, nature stands in her own right, proving that she has a great function to impart the peace of the eternal to human emotions. This is a quotation in English given by Rabindranath Tagore. તો આપણને એમ લાગે કે આ શું લખ્યું છે, ખબર નથી પડતી. But we all experience this. Suppose somebody is not happy with life. Somebody feels humiliated because of certain conditions. And he or she thinks that I need some peace. Santi જોઈએ છે. Then what do? They always wish to go to a corner of the city, corner of the town, corner of the village where there is nobody, only that human being and the nature around. So we always go to the lap of nature to find peace. And as Rabindranath Tagore says, in our dreams, nature stands in her own right, proving that she has a great function to impart the peace of the eternal to human emotions. It is the nature, it is the vegetation, it is the landscapes around that give you a feeling of peace. Eternal peace. શાશ્વત શાંતિનો અનુભવ આપણને આ કુદરત કરાવે છે. So in that way, according to Rabindranath Tagore, you cannot take away the role of nature in the lives of human beings. If there is no nature in the lives of human beings, then human being is not going to remain a human being. They will once again become the animals, the age-old animals. Because this is the nature that gives control to the human beings over their thinking, peace to those human beings who are not in good state of mind. So the forest also teaches us to be contented, to enjoy the gifts of nature without exploitation and accumulation. Now there are three words in this point: contented, exploitation and accumulation. To be contented means to be satisfied, santusht. And exploitation, accumulation, these are the two vices, durguno che, that we find in human beings. And the earlier one, contented, is a virtue, sadgun che, that we find among the trees, among the nature. And this nature, this forest teaches us to be contented. ભાઈ તમારી પાસે જે છે એનો સંતોષ રાખો. પોતાની જે કોઈ સ્થિતિ છે એનાથી સંતુષ્ટ રહેવું. That is the message of the forest. And forest teaches human beings to remain contented. Even our sons, the saints that give some religious lectures, they also teach you the same thing. But what do you think? How many of the people in our society around us, they are contented? કેટલા લોકોને સંતોષ હોય છે? We don't find people contented because human beings are interested in exploitation and accumulation. Exploit the situation, exploit the human beings around, exploit everybody, exploit anybody that is to be exploited. જે પણ વ્યક્તિ, વસ્તુ કે કંઈ પણ, કે આજુબાજુના કોઈ લોકો, પોતાના નોકરો, જેનું જે કાંઈ શોષણ થાય એ કરો. This is the nature of a human being. And a human being always wants to exploit the situation, exploit the people for his favor, for his benefit, and accumulate as much property, as much comforts as he can. Now, this is something that a human being does. But this is something that forests don't do. Because forest never say that I will not allow, in a forest a tree would never say that I will not allow a plant to grow under me. But do you think a leader would allow somebody else to become a leader like him? No. Because if a leader allows somebody else to be a leader like him, then there are chances that his position will be in danger. And if his position is in danger, then if his act can bring his position in danger, then he is not going to allow such a growth to somebody else. So this is how the forest teaches us to be contented and not to exploit and accumulate the things. No species in the forest takes the share of other species to nutrients, water, and the sun's energy. This is already discussed, that in a jungle, in a forest, no large tree takes away the sunlight or sun's energy, water, or the nutrients from the soil, and doesn't allow those things to be given to some smaller plants or smaller trees. No. The larger tree or the smaller tree, they are going to get what is their right, what is going to help them grow in a better way. And no other tree or no other plant or no other form of vegetation tries to interfere in the growth of the. So no species in the forest takes the share of other species. પછી એ ન્યુટ્રિયન્ટ્સ હોય, એટલે કે પોષક હોય, પોષક તત્વો હોય, પાણી હોય, કે પછી સૂર્યની ઉર્જા હોય. Every species lives in mutual cooperation. પરસ્પર સહકારથી જીવે છે. મનુષ્યમાં આ પરસ્પર સહકારની લાગણી બહુ ઓછી જોવા મળે છે. જ્યારે જંગલોમાં આને જે વનસ્પતિને આપણે નિર્જીવ અથવા સંપૂર્ણ સજીવ નથી ગણતા, એ વનસ્પતિઓ એકબીજા સાથે પરસ્પર સહકારથી જીવે છે. This is what symbolizes the earth democracy. We proudly say in the UN, United Nations, that we are one of the largest democratic countries in the world. Yes, we are, by our constitution. આપણા બંધારણની રીતે તો છીએ. But what do we mean by democracy? Democracy means you are allowing people to express themselves. You are allowing people to grow on their own, grow economically, grow intellectually, right? But do you think, or do we find such an atmosphere in our country? At times, no. કેટલીક વાર એવું લાગે આપણને કે લોકશાહી ખાલી નામની હોય. તો this is what symbolizes the earth democracy. જ્યાં પૃથ્વીની લોકશાહી શું છે કે પૃથ્વી ઉપર ઉગતા દરેક વૃક્ષને પોતાની રીતે આગળ વધવાનો, ઉછરવાનો, ઉગવાનો, વિકાસ કરવાનો અધિકાર છે. In that way, the idea of democracy is maintained very well in the forest, and that is why it is called earth democracy. The forest means freedom from greed for the powerful and freedom from want, from hunger and thirst, from dispossession and disposability for the excluded. Number of things have been written in this line. What is the meaning of forest? Freedom from a greed for the power. In forest, no tree is greedy, લોભી નથી, કોઈને લોભ નથી to become powerful. Because trees know that they are not going to become the king of the jungle by their size or just standing on one place. They don't wish to be the most powerful tree in the jungle. No. And it gives them freedom from want. Want means desires. The trees don't have any desire. It's not like human beings. Every human being has a desire to be the most powerful person, to be the richest person. If there is a student, then he would wish to be the most intelligent student or the student with the highest rank in the class. Everybody has some desire. A grown-up man would say that I want the largest house in the city. Trees never wish this kind of things. There is no greed among the trees. From the hunger and thirst. So, આ બધી જે ભૂખ છે, આ તરસ છે મનુષ્યમાં, વૃક્ષો આમાંથી મુક્ત છે. From dispossession and disposability for the excluded. In our society, there are different ways of dispossessing the things. We have heard that if a block in a farmer's house, કે ભાઈ ફાર્મરના ખેડૂતના ઘરે કામ કરતો બળદ, if it gets old, then the farmer stops taking care of that block. This is not everywhere, of course, આ દરેક જગ્યાએ નથી હોતું, પણ અમુક જગ્યાએ હોય છે કે જ્યાં બળદને છૂટો મૂકી દેવામાં આવે, જ્યાં તારું જે થાય. So this is how they dispossess that animal. અને મનુષ્યના કેટલાક તો એનાથી પણ ખરાબ કામ છે. નહીતર આપણા આ સંસ્કારની ગાથા ગાનારા દેશમાં અનાથાલયો ન હોય. અને અનાથાલયો નહીં, વૃદ્ધાશ્રમો ન હોય. વૃદ્ધાશ્રમો એ આ ડિસ્પોઝેશનની જે દુર્ગુણ છે એનું જ પરિણામ છે. Why should the children dispossess their parents? They don't want to maintain their parents. They dispossess their parents. એમને પોતાનાથી અળગા કરી નાખે છે, કોઈ સંબંધ રાખતા નથી. Now this doesn't happen in our forest. And disposability for the excluded. This is one more vice that we find in our human community, that if something is excluded, something is out of use, something or somebody is out of use, then he is to be disposed of. Nikal karo eno. So even forests don't exclude the leaves. We know that in every autumn, પાનખર ઋતુમાં વૃક્ષ ઉપરથી લાખોની સંખ્યામાં સૂકા પાંદડા પડે છે. Do the trees drive those leaves away out of jungle? No. The forests don't do that. Even those dead leaves, they are also absorbed in the same soil of the forest. એ મૃત થઈ ગયેલા પાંદડા પણ એ જંગલની જમીનમાં જ સમાઈ જાય છે. They work as fertilizers, ખાતરની જેમ કામ કરે છે. But do we human beings do the same thing? No. So forests are the symbols of these things. Forests are the symbols of freedom from greed for the power, freedom from want or desire, from hunger, thirst, from dispossession, from disposability. This is how the forests can be the teachers of human beings. Let's move to the next slide. Next slide. Harmony in diversity is the nature of the forest, whereas monotonous sameness is the nature of industrialism based on a mechanical worldview. Now, we discussed that forests are full of diversity. There are different types of trees, large trees, small trees. There are different types of vines, different types of plants, different types of shrubs, and there may be many things. In such a diverse kind of world of forest, we find a complete harmony, complete એકસૂત્રતા જોવા મળે છે. There is no conflict, there is no fighting between two different forms of nature. There is no gulping up the space or other facilities of another tree or plant by some powerful tree or plant. Now, if we compare this diverse world with the world of human beings, then what do we find in the world of human beings? During Victorian era, we saw the scientific revolution in England, and later on, with the passage of time, different countries joined that scientific inventions, that craze for scientific inventions, industrialization, and because of this industrialization, what have we seen? Industries have made human beings work with the machines, and just in this process of working with the machines, human beings have also become machines. So they have become monotonous, inhuman things instead of being emotional, sensible human beings. મોનોટોનસ, એક ધાર્યું. ભારતમાંથી ઘણા બધા લોકો ફોરેન જતા હોય છે. કેમ? ભાઈ કમાવા જાય છે. કમાવા જાય છે, શું કરે છે ત્યાં? કે કોઈકને કામ સોંપ્યું છે કે તમારે આ મોલની અંદર આ કાઉન્ટર ઉપર બધા જે કંઈ વસ્તુ જે કંઈ ખરીદી ગઈ હોય અને જગ્યા ખાલી થઈ ગઈ હોય એને ભરી દો. સેમ થિંગ. એ વ્યક્તિને બીજું કામ સોંપવામાં ન આવે. So a person is made to work like a machine, work like a robot. And this has happened because of this industrialization. Even in a factory, a man is supposed he is labeling the bottles of honey, then he is given only one work, that is of labeling. Somebody else is fitting the cork of that bottle, then he'll be doing the same thing. So people are supposed to work in a monotonous way, and this is just the result of industrialization, the modern way of world of business. It has made the life of human being quite mechanical. Seeing the difference between West and India compared to this monotonous life of Western countries, we are in a better position. And Tagore said in his work, The Spirit of Freedom, he says, the civilization of the West has in it the spirit of the machine which must move. So, in West, in America, in Canada, wherever you go in the Western country, you are not considered to be a human being. If you have your mother sick back at home, and if you don't come to the factory, then your salary is going to be deducted. This is it. You are a machine and you have to provide the labor of some hours, fixed hours. It may be 2 hours, it may be 4, 8, whatever it is. So, this is the difference between West and East. And as Rabindranath Tagore says, the civilization of the West has in it the spirit of the machine which must move. And if there is a machinery in a factory, machines need to run. And if the machines run, then it can earn money for the owners. If you are working in a factory, then you are also supposed to work like a machine. And if you work, then only the owner is going to earn money and he is going to pay you the salary. તો માલિક તમને એક મશીનરીની જેમ કામ કરવાની અપેક્ષા રાખે છે. This is the mentality of the West. It has made a human being nothing but a lifeless machine, and they don't consider any problems of a human being, any emotional problems of a human being. And to that blind moment, human lives are offered as a fuel, keeping up the steam power. આપણે જાણીએ છીએ કે સાયન્ટિફિક ઇન્વેન્શનની શરૂઆત વરાળ એન્જિનથી થઈ, અને કોઈ પણ અત્યારે વરાળથી ચાલતા એન્જિન ઓછા છે, પણ કોઈ પણ ફેક્ટરીમાં ચાલતા જે મશીન છે એની અંદર જે તાકાત પૂરવાની છે, પછી એ પેટ્રોલથી હોય, ડીઝલથી હોય કે લેબરથી હોય, it has to be done, and we human beings are used as fuel for the machinery, fuel for the production. In that way, there is no feeling for the emotions of a human being, for the troubles of a human being, for the psychological problems of a human being or family problems of a human being. And it has made in this way, it has made the human being a machine. Globalization, વૈશ્વિકીકરણનો એક દોર ચાલ્યો છે. So it has spread the civilization based on power and greed and the spirit of machine worldwide. What is the aim of globalization? Nothing but increase of physical comforts. ભૌતિક સુવિધાઓ વધારવી. And how can these physical comforts be increased? Only with the help of money. What should be done for the money? You have to work day and night or in a particular, in a stipulated hours of time, hours of work. And during those hours, you are supposed to work like a machine. You don't have anything else to pay your attention to. So this has become, this mechanical mentality has spread worldwide. In a way, a human being, an emotional human being is now dying out, and an emotionless mechanical robot is being created out of human beings. It has resulted into the global spread of the passion of profit making and drunkenness of power. Only two things. Everybody is working day and night, doing overtime, doing one work here and the other work at some 50 kilometers away. Why? Because they want to earn money. The owners of the factory, they are ready to give you overtime. They are ready to pay you more if you are there to work for more hours. Why? Because they know that if the production is increased, then naturally they are going to earn more profits. Profit making is at center. વધુમાં વધુ કમાઓ, વધુમાં વધુ નફો કરવો, એ જ કેન્દ્ર સ્થાને છે. અને વધુમાં વધુ કમાવાથી man gets power. And power rises the head of human beings. Drunkenness, power no નશો. સત્તા, શક્તિનો નશો છે. So this is what this modern world has changed the life of the people into a mechanical being. A civilization based on power and greed is a civilization based on fear and violence. What is the result? What is the result? Okay, people are getting money, people are earning money. Some people are getting richer and richer and perhaps the richest. But because of this greed, two classes are clearly divided in the society. One is a class of the rulers, one is a class of the owners. અને પરિણામે જે લોકો માલિક છે એનાથી જે લોકો કામદાર છે, જે લોકો કામ કરે છે, એ લોકો હંમેશા ડરે છે. We know now it's a world of self-finance things. What is the result of these self-finance things? Self-finance schools, self-finance colleges. The worker, the teacher working in a self-finance school or a college, he will always be afraid of the boss of that institute, principal of that institute. And principal will always be afraid of the trustees of the institute. Why? Because they always think that they can be shacked off, they can be driven out of the work any day, any morning. So there is an atmosphere of fear. Factory owners may drive away any worker any day. Everybody lives in a world of fear. And at times, this fear, when it is unbearable, it generates violence. એનાથી એક હિંસા પેદા થાય છે. તો આમ the whole world seem to be suffering because of this mechanical worldview. Anyway, these are the views of Guruvar Rabindranath Tagore. He told these things some 100 years ago, but whatever he said some 80, 90 or 100 years ago is completely applicable to our society in 2020. Now, there are still some slides to be seen. So I think there will be one more video lecture on this essay, and that will be the end of the essay. I hope you have understood this part of my lecture. We shall meet in the next lecture maybe within 2-3 days. Thank you.